Hey everyone, so we're going to do a quick run through of the complaints file that we did a pivot table on in the ASL session recently. Um, and I'll quickly show you if you don't remember how to find the file itself. You're going to go to My Taco Bell. You're going to go to Reports, Restaurant Supreme Standings, and then Loop Complaint Details. And you're going to click this little three dots over here and export it as either XLSX or CSV. It doesn't matter which one. Both of them will be usable in Excel. So once you have that downloaded, you should have a file that looks kind of like this. I think I will probably have more stores than you do, but it doesn't really matter. It's all the same thing. The good news about this file is it's formatted properly to do a pivot table on already. Most files you're going to interact with probably are anyway, but the one error you'll get very often when you're doing a pivot table is if you don't have a column title for every single column, it'll give you an error when you try and do a pivot table. But like I said, this one is totally fine. So you're just going to go, you can either select all this data or you can just do it from the corner, which I think that's the easiest way to do it. You're just going to click Insert Pivot Table, and you'll see it auto selects the whole brick here. This little dialog box, this is the range that it's selected, and it says, do you want it in a new worksheet or existing worksheet? We're just going to click OK because we do want it in a new worksheet. So you'll see now you have the start of a pivot table here. You have your data over here, and then you have the sort of boxes that you can put the data in. I'm just going to rename the sheet pivot. Um, so now the way that we did this in the session and the way that I think this report is classically used is people want to figure out what number or percent of complaints come from each visit channel. So delivery, digital pickup, etc. So the way we're going to do that is obviously what we want here is on the rows, right? We're going to want store number. So we're just going to take store number and we're going to drag it down to rows. Alternatively, you can also just click that and it defaults it to rows. So we want the store numbers here, and then we also want the visit channel in rows, right? Because we want each visit channel to be sort of subheading under the store numbers themselves. So we're going to do that. And what we want is obviously the number of the count of visit channel per each category that we have over there in rows. So we're just going to drag visit channel down here to values as well. So now you could be done. I mean, if this is where you want to end it, you could just keep it here. I mean, personally, I like to have percents here as opposed to just a count. I mean, count is also useful, but so we're going to add percent here. So I'm going to drag visit channel down here again. So you'll have two of the same thing here, right? And then the second one, I'm going to click and I'm going to go to value field settings. So this is where you can modify how this is displayed. So you can have it displayed as a sum, an average, et cetera, et cetera. But what we want to do is we want to go over here to this tab and have it show values as a percent of parent row total. So we want this to be a percent, this number, et cetera, as a percent of its parent row total. So this number is a percent of this. So we're going to click OK. And now you have the count and you have the percent, and you can just ignore these because this is sort of a percent of all. I mean, I guess that's somewhat useful depending on, it'll be useful for your spans because this should add up to 100. If you have, say, 5 stores, all 5 should add up to 100 as the total of your span. But these percents add up to 100 as a total of all complaints for this store. And just say, for example, pivot tables, you can format them just like you can format anything else in Excel. So I'm going to select this whole column and I'm going to do it with Control Shift arrow key down. And I'm just going to decrease the decimal place by 1. Whoa. I'm actually not even sure what just happened. I guess we can get rid of that. But yeah, so now you have the data sliced exactly how you want it. And that's the nice thing about pivot tables is you can do them very quickly. They make you look like a wizard at Excel, and you don't even have to write any formulas. So hopefully that's helpful. I'm going to shortly also do the more advanced pivot table that we did in the ASL session where we had to add the alignment so that you could sort by area coach. That will be in a separate video here shortly.